Thanks for your time today. We're going to make this short. I really value your time and appreciate you carving out a few minutes to see what I believe is one of the best uses of AI in sales training today. There will be a special offer at the end of this session as a reward for you being here, an incentive, if you will, for you to become one of the first early adopters of this new technology. Once you see this in action, I think you'll want to become one of those. I mean, we have all seen what AI can do to help write emails and create marketing campaigns and videos. But up until now, there hasn't been a significant advance in the use of AI to help managers train their sales reps in real world ways that build new habits of success. It's frustrating for leaders to hire new reps and not have the time or the budget to train them properly, or to give them the constant direction and feedback that they need on a continual basis. Most times a manager will get a few days of training, some sort of a list to call, and then they're left to fend for themselves. And it's nobody's fault, but there's so little time that you can devote to that. And it leads to sales reps feeling left adrift with no direction or coaching to help them in real time. Bad habits start to creep in and sales begin to suffer, and the rep becomes discouraged and potentially sours on sports in general. And that's not where we want to be. Regular training like I provide teams is a great shot in the arm. But it's really challenging to not have the time or the budget or the ongoing training support, and having these bad habits start creeping in. It's a great shot in the arm when I can go to a place, and those who've had me, you know how effective it can be in giving people an energy boost in that right direction. But like most things in life, sometimes we can fall into our own habits after just a few weeks. Without repetition and reminders, it becomes a challenge to create new habits of success. And these kinds of challenges can cost teams real money in lost sales, lower morale, and even burnout. Even the best sales trainers would admit that without some kind of reinforcement of the training, there's a tendency to forget what was learned. The best teams I know in sports provide constant training and developing for every rep, regardless of how long they've been there. And one of the most time-tested and proven ways to sharpen skills is the one thing most salespeople dread, and that's role plays in front of others. Now, role plays have been proven to be really effective in learning, but they can be nerve-wracking, embarrassing, sometimes frustrating for a lot of reps. So what if you could take out the embarrassing parts of role plays and instead make it feel more like a game that you had to find the key to unlock? A low risk, a low stress way to practice the fundamentals and still get valuable feedback on what you did right and how you could improve without you as the manager having to be there. Well, I'm pleased to share with you that that day has come, and it is way more affordable than you would ever think possible. It is called Gorilla RP, an AI-assisted role-play tool that puts your reps face-to-face with live, unscripted role-play conversations with AI prospect avatars built from real ticket-selling situations. Gorilla RP uses the magic of AI to simulate a real-life conversation, either on the phone or in person, with dozens of different kinds of customers: personal buyers, group leaders, group attendees, corporate buyers, renewal customers, even 50-50 raffle buyers being sold face-to-face. These amazing voice avatars are created specifically to look for the kinds of phrases that move the sale forward. And each one is going to push back if they don't hear the right things. They raise objections, they stall. Just like customers, they put off buying decisions, just like your prospects. Unlike the role plays you've done with your staff, though, these customers won't just give in after a minute or two. You've got to find out what unlocks their buying motives before they'll move the sale forward. There are varying levels of difficulty that you can custom tailor these avatars for each team, depending on your individual preferences and your sales team's seniority. So here's how it works. You choose a scenario that you'd like to train on, whether it's renewals, cold calls, single game buyers, or any other situation you want to focus on. The conversation can either be done on text, typing in the responses, kind of like an AI chatbot, or a voice conversation, either on the phone or face-to-face, which is what I much prefer. The call takes place, and then the rep treats them just like a live selling situation. The avatar responds to every word the rep says, just like in a real conversation. And then after every call, the conversation is scored using my archive of AI-stored proprietary sports sales methodologies. So reps receive immediate feedback from my AI brain on what they did well and exactly how to improve. It's literally like having a sales coach right beside your reps. We'll have time for questions at the end of the demo, but why don't we jump into the live site here at this point and you can see how it works. Okay. Very good. So, whoops, that's the Zoom meetings. No, we don't have that. We don't need that. Hold on a second. Get out of that. Stop that share. And into this. Okay. Much better. Now we know what we're doing. Okay. Great. So we happen to have a couple of instances here where we're training the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago White Sox. Let's start with this one, as long as it's up here. Let's just go ahead and use this. So this happened to be the Atlanta Braves person that was selling for the 50-50 raffle. And we'll go ahead and use that as an example. It's a skeptical first-time family at their first Braves game, and it's approached by a seller in the main concourse. So this is a live conversation back and forth with someone who has just come in. So you have a couple of options here as a player of this, either the text, like we said, you can type your message in there, or the voice. So let's start that role play now with this person.
Hi there.
Hi there. It looks like you've got the whole family with you. Welcome to Truist Park.
Thanks. Yeah, first time here for all of us.
Great. Well, it can be a little intimidating, the size of it. It looks a little bigger in person than it does on TV, I'm sure.
Definitely. We're just trying to get our bearings before the game starts.
You bet. That's great. Where are your seats?
We're up in section 219, I think. Still figuring out how to get there.
Well, I'd be glad to help you with that. This is it's good to meet the family, though. Do your two boys here, they play sports?
Yeah, they both play Little League back home. Keeps us busy.
That's great. One of the things that our foundation does a lot of work with is Little Leagues throughout Braves country. It's one of the things that's benefiting from our 50-50 raffle. Have you heard of it?
A raffle? How does that actually work?
Well, the way it works is we collect money toward the end of the game, and at the 8th inning, we split it 50-50. You buy so many chances to be able to win the raffle, and half of it goes to one fan, one lucky fan, and the other 50% goes to the Braves Foundation, which does a lot of good for families in need and kids right here in Braves country. The pot is already up to $7,500 now.
Is this legit?
Great question. There are several others. If you look down the concourse there with someone that is wearing the same vest as I am, there are 40 of us selling at the very same time tonight. And yes, it is very legit. Would you be interested in perhaps getting about 50 chances for $20 tonight?
What if I win and I'm not here anymore?
Great question. All the numbers are posted on Braves.com up to 30 days after the game itself. So you have the chance to redeem those at any time within those 30 days. Can we go ahead and set you up today?
How much are the tickets if I just want to try it out?
Well, we have a pack of 10 chances for $10 if you'd just like to try it out.
All right, that's not too bad. I think I'll give that a shot.
Terrific. Well, we're glad to do that. I'll go ahead and take your card here and swipe. And so thank you very much and good luck.
Thanks. Appreciate you explaining it all. Kids are excited now.
Excellent. So that was the 50-50 role play. Now, what's happening is the AI is looking at what I said, what the customer said, and giving me feedback on my job. So it scores you of 1 through 5 stars. Well, look at that. I got 5 stars. You successfully achieved the role play goal by clearly explaining the raffle and establishing its Little League. You emotionally engage them, talking about the Little League. Well done overall, it says at the end. If there was some holes in my presentation, it would have said something at the bottom like, you should have done this, or next time, this is something you ought to be able to do. So that's just one example of how it is that works. Let's try something else. Let's go to the White Sox, and you can actually take a look at their situation. This happens to be their service and retention groups people. They're calling to renew for 2027, and it's being done much earlier this year for the White Sox and many other MLB teams. This particular situation, we're calling Dan. He's been a season ticket holder for 6 years in the lower bowl. He's relaxed, but he's kind of caught off guard by the timing of our call. He's thinking that it's a little early, and why in the world is that the case? So the key question here is, how do we turn this surprised hello into a real conversation by reading what these seats actually mean? And so there are some objectives here, and the AI is going to listen for those objectives and be able to tell if they're making those or not. And then we score them 1 to 5 stars. So let's see what this one sounds like.
Hello.
Hi, is this Dan?
Yeah, this is Dan. Who's calling?
Hey, Dan, it's Bill from the Chicago White Sox. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. What's this about?
Excellent. Well, we wanted to call to make sure that your seats are fine here for the remainder of the season, and to find out what your interest might be in renewing your seats right where you are for 2027.
July is pretty early. What's going on?
Well, we've had such an increase in the demand for tickets because of how the team is performing that we've had to move up our renewal process just a bit to be able to accommodate the people that are looking for seats. Do you like where you're sitting right now, or would you prefer to be somewhere else?
Huh. Okay, why now? I usually hear from you guys in September.
Yep, it's been quite a year. You've enjoyed, I'm sure, some of the exciting success on the field that we've had, and we've had more inquiries about season tickets than ever before. And so we have stepped up the process of renewals to be able to allow more people to buy in for 2027. Our deadline is actually August 5th. So we've got a couple of more weeks before we actually have to cut bait and say, these are people in, and these are people who would have to be in another seat next year.
All right, I get it. Nothing wrong with my account then?
Not in the least. In fact, if you really like where your seats are, I would be able to go ahead and lock those in for you for 2027. Can I ask who you normally bring and who comes out to the games with you?
Usually my kids come down for a few, and a couple old friends from work. Why do you ask?
Awesome. Well, I want to be sure that you'll continue to have those same kind of opportunities going into 2027. If you really like the seats you have, you'll have up until August 5th to be able to renew those. Otherwise, they might be up for renewal or for someone else to purchase. That's why I'm calling today, to give you that first right of refusal to be able to have those same seats for next season.
All right, I appreciated the heads up. So if I wait until September like usual, there's a chance I'd lose my spot?
Yes, there is. It's a very good chance, especially if the team continues on the run they're on right now. They're in first place now.
Okay, that's clear. Can you send me something in writing about the deadline and what I need to do?
You know, I'd be happy to do that, Dan. And what I'll do is this. Why don't we set up a call for, say, the 2nd of August, about this time, so that we can really kind of go over some of the details and make sure that you're clear as to what we're looking for to get you aboard again for 2027. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that works. Just send me the info and we'll talk on the 2nd.
That'd be great. About this time, okay for you?
Yeah, this time's fine. I'll look for your email.
All right. Thanks so much, Dan. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Talk to you then.
All right. So hopefully we'll have a chance to be able to renew Dan. He looked pretty positive about that. And I got a 5 out of 5 stars. I mastered addressing the timing concern, introducing a touch of excitement about the team's current success, and literally all of these things. And they even quoted me showcasing the effectiveness, saying we had to move up our renewal process, et cetera, et cetera. But what this really shows is that we are giving reps not only the opportunity to show off how they're doing against others in exactly the same scenarios with the same exact role play people, but you're also seeing where you've done well and where you need to improve. It's a step ahead in terms of being able to share with people how well they're doing and how we can improve them without a manager being there present, or anyone else for that matter. They can literally do this on their own, or do this with a sales meeting with other people around. And people have commented that it's almost like a video game when they're doing this. It becomes that feel that they're looking to unlock the next level almost. Guerrilla RP can be custom created for your team's individual department needs and skill levels. And while there's tools out there, most of them that I have seen cost 5 figures or more to develop and deploy. And unlike this, this is very, very affordable. It allows you faster ramp up for new sellers, higher confidence in closing ratios, There's a consistent coaching that happens with that same avatar at scale so that all 10 of your reps or 5 or 20 can be working on that same person to be able to try to do that. And it's a safe place to fail forward, as John Maxwell is famous for saying, and a measurable growth, being able to see that. So we've got each person actually doing this. We've actually had the Atlanta Braves tell us that their goal of $50,000 in ticket sales was blown away. They made $60,000 in a single game for their foundation day. So this is actually a proven, tested tool for a group that doesn't get a lot of training. Frankly, it's the 50-50 sellers. The White Sox were incredibly happy with this for their group and service and premium sales departments. We had a live sales training in each of these instances using this tool as a supplement to that live training. And indeed, they were engaged and useful and really felt good about using that. So we've done the demo. Let's take a look at the numbers. There is a one-time customization between $750 and $1,500. And it is built around what it is you want to be able to do. We custom create it for your team's individual department needs and skill levels. You get up to 8 different customer avatars in this initial setup, which can be used over and over again, each time with different results based on the way your sales reps handle the call. Once you're set up, we keep the program very simple. There are 2 monthly options for you to choose from based on the number of users that you've got per team. It's just $600 a month for up to 10 users, or $1,150 per month for up to 25 users. The only difference besides the number of seats is the number of conversation minutes each user gets per month. The lower option has each user using up to 80 minutes of talk time a month, and the higher option allows for 100 minutes per month. Now, the practice sessions we saw today averaged between 3 minutes or so, plus or minus a minute. So that's quite a few role play exercises. So you should never run out of talk time, even at the 80 minutes a month level. In addition, whatever level you choose, we offer updates on your avatars every quarter as a part of the program. So you'll get a fresh batch of avatar prospects 4 times a year at no additional cost. And you'll also have full tech support available 24/7 for any problems that you may have. Now, this would be great all by itself, but because you're here today, for those who can act quickly and say yes to become one of our early adopters, here's what I am willing to do for a very limited time. For anyone on this call today that signs up between now and August 15th, you will receive 2 months of Gorilla RP absolutely free. It's already a great value by allowing you as a manager to hire my brain to continually train your reps and keep them excited, but you'll get months 11 and 12 of your Gorilla RP subscription at no charge. 2 months of those 12 toward the end of your contract. Now, there's another option for those who are here today. Often, I will use Gorilla RP as part of my live in-person trainings with teams all across the US and Canada and Mexico. For those who sign up for either a 2-day or a 3-day live in-person training date with me between now and August 1st, you'll receive a bonus of 6 full months of Gorilla RP absolutely free as a trailer to my training. The 6-month clock starts right after my training takes place, so you can choose a live training date anytime in the next 12 months. We just have to make the deal prior to August 1st for you to receive the 6 months free. For example, if you wanted to have me in October, let's say, we can make that deal before the 1st of August. I can put it on our calendar for October, and then we can go ahead and make the training happen, and then you would receive Gorilla RP for free beginning in October. Now, you may be thinking, well, what if I get it in and it's not what I expected? Is there some sort of guarantee? Well, I am glad you asked, because I am so sure that you're going to love this and your people are going to love it, that I am willing to do one more step. If you're on the call today and can say yes to Gorilla RP by August 15th, pay the customization fee and your first month, and you don't like the program for any reason, I will refund your first month subscription amount and you have no further obligation at all. You'll only be out the customization amount, that modest $750 to $1,500, but that's the only thing you'll risk by giving it a try. I can't be any fairer than that. I have built my reputation as a trainer on trust, and I truly believe that once you experience this yourself, you're going to be as excited about it as I am. If for whatever reason you can't decide today, yes, there's another option. If you can't make that decision, if you schedule a live demo like this with me at the Calendly URL on your screen by that same date, August 1st, I will hold these bonus options for you, but you've got to schedule an appointment by the 1st in order to get that extension. And please use the URL exactly as you see it on the screen there to be able to do that.